You can sort by category. You can also sort by condition. You can also, basically auction out, although I have not tried that yet. I've only currently bought 5 liquidation pallets from Bulq. All of them, I'm literally sourced like I'm about to show you here in a second. So, like I said, you can bid on stuff if you want to get it really, really cheap, although you have to, continually match bids and it can be annoying. You can also check what they've newly added. You can sort condition like new, brand new, uninspected returns, and salvage and scratch and dent. So, these are important things to keep in mind, as you'll see when we sort categories. You want, in my opinion, you want either brand new or like new. You can go uninspected returns, and if you go uninspected returns, you will get very, very cheap items to your door. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. However, if you go that route, you must understand that depending on what you're buying, if it's closed, then you can potentially get away with it, although some of them might be, damaged to the point where you can't sell them. Or it might be something as simple as, a suit, and instead of the 3 buttons that the suit's supposed to have, it's missing a button. So you can either fix it, or you can sell it for cheaper, or you just have to eat that loss, but you're getting them very, very cheap. On top of that, why I say buy brand new and buy like new is because you're still getting them very, very cheap, sometimes around $1, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. But they're brand new and you can flip them back online. And I'm going to show you how for at least $10 profit margin. I promise you that. So category right here. Now I'm going to go through, you can source from computers and office, you can source consumer electronics, you can source toys, you can source whatever you want. Obviously what you're sourcing depends on, where you're planning on selling it. So source with the end game in mind. If you're planning on selling consumer electronics, well then you can't flip on Poshmark, and you might want to go the other route to Mercari, eBay, and Amazon. I'm going to talk about all the marketplaces and the e-commerce places where you can sell these in the future. Same thing with toys. So if you're sourcing toys, know that Poshmark is strictly a clothing place. You can't sell toys on Poshmark. However, if you're sourcing apparel and accessories, which is what I personally do, that's just my choice, and I know that I can flip clothes because I can leverage my Poshmark closet, which has about 50,000 followers and gets consistent traffic, and it has automation going currently, and it's sharing all the time, so I can leverage that traffic to sell clothes. On top of that, clothes can be sold on Mercari, clothes can be sold on eBay, and sometimes they can be sold if they're brand name products and they're in good condition on Amazon, although clothes typically don't flip on Amazon. So if you're selling consumer electronics, maybe an Amazon or an eBay, depending on the product, is where you want to go with selling Mercari and ranking your account in the process. For today's specific example, we're just going to talk about apparel and accessories, so clothing. That's what I like to do. So I'm going to sort by price low to high, and we're going to start seeing exactly what's available to us and how we can get some items to our house for $1. So this is a good example. I usually like to go through, and I'll show you up in the top right here, how many items you're getting. Obviously, the price of each pallet, it's always $30 shipping on Bulq.com, flat to your door. It'll tell you the overall price that pallet actually is, how many items come in that pallet, and what you're paying per item. So this is $4.18 per item, $5.53 per item. What I like to do is I'll scroll down, and I'll go to like 3 or 4, and I'm going to buy a little bit higher right here. So you'll see this example right here is unexpected returns. You're getting 106 items to your door for $130 so around $124 per item, hence the $1 to your door. Now I don't necessarily like to go with uninspected returns. You are getting 106 items, so the markup is definitely there to make a vast majority of your profits. However, I personally like to go with something that's brand new. So this is a great example. 23 items brand new, but that's a little bit steep at $5.74 an item. So I'm going to try to find something better. There are better out there. You just have to sort through them. So let's go through. This is a little bit better. Although it's uninspected returns. So we're going to sort brand new. 17 items, that's 8. And you'll start to notice that if you're buying shoes, it'll tell you the retail price too. So this is $382 suggested retail price. So that's typically what it's worth. Now you're going to want to mark that down a little bit because you're probably not going to sell it at that rate. Although if they are brand new, you can pretty much flip them back on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and sometimes Amazon for slightly marked down from their retail value, especially if they're new. New stuff sells like crazy on Poshmark and Mercari. And on eBay too, although I don't sell on eBay anymore personally because they suspended my account. It has nothing to do with this, so you're perfectly allowed to do this. It actually has to do with drop shipping that I did about a year ago. So this is a little bit better. This is also on inspected returns. This is also a little bit better. This is brand new, so this is a first promising one right here. 60 items for a total of $137 to our door, and you're getting them for about $228 an item. So that might be something I want to look into. Let's try to find some better ones. This is uninspected returns, brand new at 3, brand new. Let's keep going. So this is also uninspected returns. Here's a 421, 214. So this is 59 items. 214 to our door. It looks like there's a brand name right there, and it'll also tell you the brands that come in there, and that's a great thing to do because some brands sell better on Poshmark, some brands sell better on Mercari. You have to check the sales velocity and what's actually available on the site. So this would be a good example too. Although it's uninspected returns, I might check it out because it's about 182 per item. You're getting 71 items to your door. Depending on what it is, you're talking about Skechers, you're talking about Champion. So those are pretty solid brand names products. I could continue to sort through these and search, and obviously I would do that if I were really intending to buy one of these right now. But for the sake of saving your time and not wasting just kind of sourcing through and trying to find a great example, let's just pretend that we spent, good time sourcing through, and these were two of the best ones that we found. So maybe I would come back and I might purchase this one right here, 137 to my door, so it's 107 for the lot price, 30 for shipping. Its suggested retail is 658 or 651. Sorry, I completely read that wrong. So what you could basically do is you could either buy this now, or you could add it to your watch list and see if the price continues to drop. If nobody buys it within a certain amount of time, the price can drop occasionally. It depends on how frequently they're adding new items and a lot of different factors. But so basically what you want to do is you want to look at what this actually is and see if you feel like you can sell that. Now, I know the type of clothes right away when I'm seeing them, and these are all brand new. So they're all, typically on Poshmark, you can at least flip brand new clothes for at least $10 most of the time. So if I can buy every single one of these items at $228 to my door, then I can flip them back for at least $10. Then, that's probably about a $5 profit margin per item, because obviously Poshmark's going to take their slight cut. Now, I'm also going to flip them on Mercari, so these are also sites that I flip them on. You're going to flip them back on Poshmark, which, there's a lot of clothes that flip on Poshmark. Mercari is also a great site to flip not just clothes, but literally anything. The only thing that, to my knowledge, you can't sell on Mercari is, like nutrition stuff and stuff with a what's the word? An expiration date. So you can't sell like supplements or anything like that either. But that's the only thing that you can't sell on Mercari. So you can pretty much sell clothes or anything else like that doesn't involve those things on Mercari. You can also flip them on eBay, although like I said before, I'm no longer allowed to sell on eBay, at least from this IP address. And then on Amazon too, although for the most part, you can check the Amazon listings for some things like that. But the majority of clothes that you buy, if you're buying something else, if the majority of clothes that you buy, you will not be selling back on Amazon. So you can sell on Poshmark and you can sell on Mercari mainly, and then also eBay, although I don't personally do that. So if I can get these, let's just say hypothetically, at worst, I sell each of these over the next 2 to 3 months for maybe a minimum $5 profit margin. Let's pull up the calculator and I'll show you exactly what that comes out to be. So $5 times how many items were there? There were 60. So 5 times 60 is $300. I'm spending $137 to get that. So $137, and that's $163. So if I can flip all these within a month or two, maybe 3, I'm basically spending $137, and I'm turning that $137 into 60 times 5, which is $300. So that's basically how you multiply your money, and that's how you can basically make $1 into 20. Now, keep in mind that's just a low ball estimate. If I sold all of these for a $10 profit margin, so maybe I listed them all on Poshmark and Mercari for like 13 or 14 bucks, well then I'm selling 60 times 10, which ends up being $600, and then you're spending $137 to make $600 back 2 to 3 months later. Now that is about as good of a return on your investment as you will see. I don't care if you're investing in stocks, I don't care if you're investing in real estate. That might be a little bit more long term. This is shorter term money. Basically, within a month or two, you can flip most of these items. Obviously, all of them aren't going to flip, but the majority of them are going to flip within a month or two. And this is a great way that you can basically spend $1, so to speak, and then get a $10 back or a $20 bill back. You just have to basically be willing to buy products and then list them on these sites, do a little bit of the grunt work, and then you can make the money.